Hey guys, hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys have had a wonderful week. So I'm back and I'm just gonna give a little preface of to why I'm making this video. So over the last couple of weeks and whatnot, I get DMs occasionally with people asking me about accommodation, which to choose, which is better, how was my experience, and all that type of stuff. And so I thought I'll make a video on it to be able to help you guys so that you can watch it and it can help you when you're choosing which accommodation to go for. Yeah, so I broke it down into little sections, and each section is just gonna talk about the different accommodations that's down here in Bournemouth. So if you go to Bournemouth University, or if you applied and you've got into Bournemouth University and you're looking for somewhere to stay, I'm gonna basically say what is out there for you. So I'm gonna try and be as concise as possible, but I cannot promise anything because there is a lot of information out there and I'll probably even end up leaving out some stuff. So yeah, do bear with me. So let's just get right into it, right? Yeah. Now, if you applied to Bournemouth and you got in, congratulations, number one. That's one of the first steps before you get into your whole uni experience. We do understand that in this Pacarabana that it's been a little bit hard for people, and some people have been like, do I come and stay in an accommodation? Do I not? Do I stay at home? Do I learn online? All these type of things. So one thing I would say is that if you're gonna come down and stay here, then listen up, because this information might be able to help you out. So now, I'm gonna link a link. I'm gonna put a link in the description where you can look at what accommodations are available. That's literally what I'm going off of, just so that you can see it yourself, and I'm sure the uni probably passes this link on to you as well. So the different houses are Bailey Point, Chesil House, Corfe House, Cranbourne House, Dorchester House, Lyme Regis House, Oakford House, Purbeck House, Student Village, and Unilet. So those are what's on there. Now, you might think, oh well, I can just look at that myself. However, I'm sort of here to help you kind of actually understand where each of those houses are located, because it's one thing to see the houses, it's one thing to even see the address, and it's one thing to look at it on Google Maps, but it's another thing to actually have someone who's been there themselves to sort of explain how it sort of works, especially if you're coming to something new and you're navigating everything. It's just and I wish I sort of had these type of things, but I also did my research and I looked very much into everything before I decided where I wanted to stay. When you come to Bournemouth, there is two campuses. The main campus is the one at Talbot campus, and that's the main campus where a lot of people stay for their subjects. And then the second campus is Lansdowne. So, and that's usually for I believe the doctors, the nurses, healthcare, and all that type of people. They tend to go to that campus. When you are looking to stay somewhere, most of the houses that are in Lansdowne, well, nearly all of the houses are in Lansdowne. However, there is a certain place that they're situated. So Bailey Point, Chesil House, Cranbourne House, and Purbeck House, those four, they are situated near each other. They are the closest cluster of accommodations in Bournemouth. So if you want that, that's a benefit, because it's easy to go to your friends, flatmates when we're not in the Pacarabana. They're all together. So if you like that type of stuff, then that's that. So that's the positives. So that's one thing you should know, because you might see the addresses, but you don't actually know you can't picture it, but those four, they're literally like across the road from each other. And there's even some other accommodations that aren't really situated with Bournemouth that are also nearby there. So that like little space and little bubble is like accommodation central, and that's a positive thing if you really want to be a part of a lot of people. But just bear in mind that at night time, sometimes when people go out for the nightlife and all that type of stuff, there may be a lot of noises, especially on the way home. I've had people say that they couldn't sleep at night sometimes because the noise was too loud with people coming back. But there is double glazing on most of the windows, so it should help most of the time, or at least like muffle it as much as possible. But you can't really guarantee anything. So if that's something that you're worried about, then I wouldn't really suggest those houses. And if you don't really mind, then go for it. And also, I've been to every single one of those houses. Like, I've actually entered them. And should I say which? I mean, it's hard to say which is your favorite because they all have certain positives and certain negatives. So really and truly, it depends on what you want. So later on in the next part of the video, I'm gonna like list out the things that I wrote out for myself and that I considered before actually going for a specific accommodation. So hopefully this will help you out and you can look at that list and maybe make your decision off of that. So I can't really say which is my favorite and which isn't, except from the one I chose myself. But yeah. So then there's another one called Oakford House. I haven't actually been to that house, so I don't really know where it physically is, but I know that it's sort of on the way to Bournemouth Town Centre, I believe. So yeah, I can't really speak too much about that one, unfortunately. So Student Village is on Natural Campus, and unless you have a car or like a motorbike or something, I wouldn't really suggest the Student Village because it's a little bit out of the way from the other accommodations, and it's not the best if you want to go out at night. So just bear that in mind because you have to think about how you're going to get back home, and there isn't really any transportation unless you call up a taxi. So if that's something that you don't really want to be spending like £5 roughly each night to get a taxi, Student Village probably won't be your best choice. Another one is the Unilet. So they say that those are situated in various places, so you have to like look more into that one. And I guess I think it's a bit like Student Village but in different locations. And the next one is Corfe House. Corfe is situated pretty much near Poole. Again, just like Student Village, if you know you're going to be going out, and most people tend to go out around Bournemouth, which is like the main like student hub, if you're going to be going there, don't go to Corfe. That's what I'm going to say. Do not go to Corfe unless you have a way of getting back, a means of transportation, and you want to be further away from the uni maybe. That could be, if those are your reasonings and you're happy with that, then go for Corfe. But if you know that you want to be a part of the hub and the bubble, Corfe is really way out, and it can take up to like, what, I think 20 minutes-ish? Usually traffic's quite alright in Bournemouth, so it won't take you too long, but it's not as short as the other journeys. I think it's like 30, I don't think it's more than 30 minutes though. So yeah, that's just a little tip. The next one is Lyme Regis. Lyme Regis is sort of near the cluster of those accommodations that I first stated, the four that I first stated, but it's not as close. It's closer to the old fire station. So if you've heard of that and you know where that is, Lyme Regis is very, very close to the old fire station. However, it's not as close to the other, I guess it is. It's like a 1 minute, 2 minute walk, so that is really close. But like what I'm saying is that it's not as close is that literally when you step out of Bailey Point, for example, right across you is Purbeck House. Literally, like take 10 seconds, you're at someone else's accommodation. But Lyme Regis is sort of, yeah, slightly out the way. Yeah, but it's not bad. It's kind of close. There's a Tesco nearby. There's a Tesco near a lot of places. But yeah. And now the final one, and the reason I left it to be the final one is because this is the house that I stayed in. I stayed in Dorchester House. Again, Dorchester isn't as close as that little hub of accommodations, but it's still close enough. It's more like a 3 to 4 minute walk, if that. But yeah, it's about 3 to 4 minutes, and before you can get to like places like the Old Fire Station or like Lion Regis or the other accommodations. But it's not far at all, and I chose it for a couple of reasons, which I'm gonna explain in this next part of the video. So I hope you've been able to stay along with me so far. I hope it all makes sense. And I just want to say that before I get into that part, all of these accommodations are a part of the uni, so you can actually buy them directly from the uni. However, there are also other alternatives. I'm not really going to talk about them into this video because we will be here forever, but just know and understand that there are private places that you can actually get accommodation. And one thing I want to say is be careful, read the contract, especially if you're going with someone private, because some of these people, they be traveling, and unless you want to get scammed out of your money, not that I'm saying that they're gonna scam you out your money, but some of them, you just got to be careful and actually get your parents or whatnot to read over the agreement. Make sure that you know what you're going into before you say yes to anything. So yeah, guys, what I've decided to do is, because as I was recording this, I was realizing that this video is gonna be really long. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna do it into 2 parts. The first part was literally just the general unis that I talked about and the location and where they are, so you can look at that and hopefully that can help you. Now the second video, which I'm gonna release, is gonna be about what you should look for when you're choosing accommodation, and pretty much why I also chose Dorchester House. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna end this video here and start a new one because it's getting long already. But yeah, until the next video, stay blessed, don't stress, and I will catch you after the test. Bye! Stay blessed, don't stress, and I will catch you after the test. Bye!